Hello Psychics, and welcome to episode 13 of Learn Tarot with me for free. An amazing card we're doing together today. We're doing the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel in the Major Arcana, a beautiful card for new beginnings. So thank you for being here and liking, subscribing, and all the amazing comments and feedback and the donations. It means the world. Thank you for learning tarot with me. My name's Liz. If you're new to the channel, we do all kinds of things here, so welcome to the family. So, the Wheel of Fortune then, what does it mean? Well, it's got an overall theme in every single deck, but by looking at different cards in different decks, you pick different things up. So for this, I'm using two decks of cards, the Gilded Tarot and the Arcanum Tarot, but you can use any deck of cards. It's what you feel and see in the picture. So we call on Archangel Raziel, the Psychic Angel, to help us to tune into our psychic gifts and insights. And we tune into Archangel Gabriel, the amazing Archangel of communication, to help us to really speak what we see and feel in the card. So the theme then of the Wheel of Fortune is about fate and destiny stepping into your life, creating changes, spiritual changes, earthly changes, things that move us forward. So forward motion that you have no control over, okay? New beginnings, fresh starts. And I'm going to show you this one first. There's a Wheel of Fortune in the Gilded Tarot. And as you can see here, you know, you've kind of got two little robot-type men. And what they show me is this is a lot like in Star Wars. You've got CP3O and you've got R2-D2, you know. And they are kind of watching over things. So this is a real sign here that, you know, you're not in control when the Wheel of Fortune comes in. Things are in control of you. Things you can't see. Things like God, the creator, the universe, you know, heaven, angels, that things sometimes seem like they're spinning out of control, but it's happening to make a massive change in your life that will bring goodness in. So this big wheel here, it's more mechanical than anything else. It's showing that there's nothing man-made in this card, you know. There's no human interference here. You can't control things as a human being because the universe has already got it going under control. So the universe has got things going under control here and not you. So when the Wheel of Fortune comes in, it's a real sign that, you know, there's a bigger picture to everything, and that things are turning in your favour. So there is such a thing as destiny, and there is such a thing as fate, and there is such a thing as karma. And this is all right now turning into your favour. There's a brand new cycle coming in when you get the Wheel of Fortune. And sometimes it's out of your control. But I always see the Wheel of Fortune as very positive, because even if changes are happening that you're a little bit afraid of when you get this card, you know, there's always going to be a bigger picture, a bigger meaning behind it, a blessing in disguise. So the message of the Wheel of Fortune is just allow these changes to happen. Go with the flow. Don't be afraid. Bring yourself into the present moment, because fate and destiny have really got everything under control, making these changes for you, for bigger things in the future. So good things are to come. And obviously in the card, you know, there's the planets there. We've got the sun. You know, we've got, this is like redness. They'll show me like this is like the Mars energy. So it's how the planets affect things as well. And, you know, when we do things like go into Mercury retrograde and all of these things, it can have a profound effect on your journey. So things spin out of control sometimes because they're meant to, because fate and destiny come in. And sometimes when we get this card, there can be a big change thrust in our pathway that creates fear, but it's all happening for the right reasons. And I'm going to give you a little example. One of my friends hated the job, and I mean with a passion, absolutely hated the job. And every time I saw them, they said how bad the job was, they hated the job, and they were always looking for a new job, but nothing came up. You know, they were a little bit afraid of making that change because they'd been in that job for so long. I think it was over 10 years. And then the shop where they worked, the place where they worked, burnt down. So they had no choice but to move, you know, to change jobs. It burnt down, there was no other place for them to go, and they had to make a radical career change. This is a sign of what happens when you get the Wheel of Fortune. And that happened because that person was so afraid of making the change. They'd have stayed there forever. But the universe knew that they weren't living their life to their full potential. They weren't where they were meant to be with the people they were meant to be with. So the universe got involved, and fate and destiny stepped in and burnt their place of work down so that they could move on. And that's what really happens with the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm not saying anything that drastic's going to happen, but it gives you a real insight into how this card works and what it means. That if you're afraid of making a change, sometimes the change will happen for you and it'll be out of your control. So whatever is going on with the Wheel of Fortune, it's out of human control. It's out of your control. You have to just go with it, because whatever changes are coming in are happening for a reason. How beautiful and amazing is that? And the cards in the Arcanum Tarot, a lot different. So it's a more human looking card, but it's a Sphinx here. It's not a human, you know. So what the angels are saying is that when you feel like you're in control of things, sometimes things are being spun out of control. So again, we've got a big wheel here. But this is showing something that isn't quite human controlling things. So this is a real sign that, you know, you've got forces above you, below you, within you and around you that control the bigger picture. We've got the universe in this card here, you know, and it's got all the elements of the tarot as well. You know, there's fire there, there's earth there, you know, we've got the water symbolising the emotions, and we've got the air as well. So all these symbols are there, and you've got a big sun there, which means happiness. So these are leading to happiness, these changes. And what they're showing me in this card, because again they're giving me analogies, and they're showing me right now, it's like somebody who's steering a boat. So just like, you know, the person who was in charge of the Titanic, there was that huge iceberg under the surface that they could not see, and they were moving forward full steam ahead. And it didn't matter how much they turned that ship around, they were still destined to hit that iceberg. So this is showing that no matter how much you try and change things yourself, or move things around, or control things, or, you know, make certain things happen a certain way, or change a person's mind, or sometimes things happen for a reason, and things are bigger than you. And no matter what you're trying to control, sometimes you have to let it go and allow yourself to smash into this iceberg, because there's always a reason behind it. There's a bigger picture behind it. So when you get the Wheel of Fortune coming up for a client, there's things going on out of their control. Fate and destiny are stepping in, bringing a brand new cycle of life in, a new beginning, a fresh start. It's a really positive sign when you get in this card, but it can also create fear. So you have to talk to the client and explain that anything that's happening within their lives right now is happening for a reason, and there's a blessing in the darkness. So if they're afraid of changes, and you'll know because of how the cards aspected, and we'll talk about that way later down the line when we've done all the cards, but you know, they'll be ready for some form of change. Even if they're telling you they aren't, in their soul they know that something has to change, and that's why fate and destiny are stepping in and really taking control of it. How amazing is that? So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you've enjoyed that. Really look at your card and write down what you see and you feel in your card, and we'll be back tomorrow with the Amazing Justice card. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.